What is up, guys? My name is Edward Lee. I'm a freelance videographer and content creator, and I recently quit my job in order to pursue this passion of making films and creating content for businesses and brands, anyone really that's willing to let me pursue this passion. Now, something I really struggled with when first starting out freelancing was trying to book new video clients and landing gigs. This is probably a struggle that many of you deal with because, let's be honest, there's a lot of people trying to work with a ton of brands and businesses, and you might be thinking, how do I actually land these clients? And I'm telling you, cold emailing is not the way to go. So I've actually used this 4-step process that's really helped me to land more gigs in 2018, and hopefully it can help a lot of you land more gigs going into the new year for 2019. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, step number 1 of this process is research. You have to do your research before you reach out to prospective clients. Now, for the purpose of this whole video, I'm gonna be using a restaurant as an example. Not any specific restaurant, but let's just say a restaurant. Now, let's say you want to work with said restaurant. You need to do your research on it before you reach out to them. What kind of research should you do? You need to go onto their website, you need to go onto their social media channels in order to see what their video presence is currently like. So go to their website, maybe scan and see, do they have a main promo video? Do they have product videos for certain things that they have or services that they offer? And then if you hop onto their Instagram, do they even have any videos on their social media? And the reason why this process is so important is because too many times content creators will reach out to brands that already have infrastructure that's working for them, or they already have a content creator making videos for them. And you don't want to work with clients like this because they already have something that's working, and the chances of you landing a gig with them are probably unlikely. Now, on the flip side of that though, if you find a prospective client that potentially needs help with content creation and you notice that they don't have a video on their website and they don't have any videos on their social media, chances are you might be able to land a gig with them, which leads me to the next step. Step number 2 of this process is spec work. Now, what is spec work? Actually, I'm gonna look up the definition of what is spec work on Google first before I act like I know what I'm talking about. Spec work is any kind of creative work, either partial or completed, submitted by designers to prospective clients before designers secure both their work and equitable fees. Now, this is the type of content that you create that you don't get paid for, but you use it to reach out to clients to potentially land gigs. Now, how I would go about this process, and let's pull back the restaurant for the purpose of this example. Let's say you've done your research on a specific said restaurant, and you notice that they need videos and their video presence is heavily lacking. Now, what I would do is maybe pull some strings, reach out to some friends that like cooking. I would ask this person to create a recipe and I would film a cinematic sequence of it. Or even better, if you have family members or friends that own restaurants, maybe go ask them and say, hey, can I just come into your restaurant? Can I film for an hour or two just to get some clips and maybe put something together for myself? Now, don't spend too much time in this step, but you want to make sure that you have a finished video that you can reach out to the client with now. This step is really important because this is what's going to separate you from the hundreds of people reaching out to said brand or said business asking to shoot content for them. This will make you stand out from the rest because you're actually taking initiative to show rather than say. Now that you've completed step number 1, which is researching the brand or business, and then you've completed step number 2, which is creating a piece of spec work for them, you want to actually reach out to them now in order to basically present your pitch. Now, this part right here really helped me, and I learned it from Parker Walbeck's course from the Full-Time Filmmaker, but he teaches this concept of free to fee. And what that means is you basically pitch the client and say that you'll do the first video for free, and then after that, you're gonna be charging a fee if they'd like to continue business. With that being said, you reach out to them with your spec work, and if you don't know who to reach out to, a lot of times these brands or businesses will have like a generic email on their website. You don't want to just reach out to their customer service or their generic email. I mean, you can, but you also want to tackle it at some different avenues. So make sure you reach out to them via Instagram, social media. Now, this is another trick you can also do when reaching out to the client is go on LinkedIn, look up their business name, and chances are you might find some professionals who work at that company, business, or brand, and you can actually message them directly from LinkedIn with your pitch instead of just a generic email because they probably already get a ton of emails on a daily basis. When messaging this potential client, I would say something along the lines of, hey, my name is Edward Lee. I'm a local content creator, videographer, and I would love to create some content for your business and offer some serious value. I noticed that you guys don't really have a video presence, but I think that I can help out with that. Here's a video that I shot that I think you might enjoy. On top of that, I would love to offer my first video that I do with you guys for free, no strings attached, and you can have delivered content. But if you like the video, I would love to talk further about doing business together. Then leave your website, leave your handle, and just hope that they get back to you. Now I will tell you, I've done this process before. I've reached out with Spec work, told them that I'll do the first video for free, and I've booked many clients this way. Now the final thing to do in this 4-step process is closing the client itself. Now this is a really important part of the process because it's kind of like the home stretch. This is where you get the money and how you land the client. Let's say you've done your research, you have your spec work, and now you have your free video that you've shot for this client. When you reach out to the client with this free video, they're gonna ask the question, how much do you charge? You wanna make sure you have your package prices set, and I recommend having 3 packages. 1, 2, and 3, good, better, best for your prices. So when you message your client with the free video, you can insert your prices and you'd be able to better your chances of landing this client. You wanna reach out to the client saying something along the lines of, hey, the video is done. I hope you guys like it. No strings attached. You can use it on your social media, on your website. If you'd like to get more content such as this for your business, here are my package prices below. Look forward to hearing back from you. And that's how you do it. Basically, it's a 4-step process. It's pretty easy, definitely longer than just emailing the client with your portfolio. But I promise you, if you're first starting out, this is definitely gonna better your chances of landing the video clients that you want. It's worked for me. I've been able to quit my job and pursue video and content creation full-time for myself. Now, another important thing to keep in mind is don't be discouraged if the client doesn't actually want to work with you by the time you get to step 4. The reason why I say this is because you've done spec work, you've done free work. If all else fails and you don't book this client, you already have 2 pieces of work that you can now add to your portfolio. This is going to be really helpful for you when reaching out to future clients, because pulling back the example of the restaurant, let's say you do the research, the spec work, the free video, and they don't book. Now that you have the restaurant video and spec work, you can reach out to more clients with this method, and I guarantee you, you will book a client or a restaurant in this example before you even know it. Another important thing to keep in mind when applying this 4-step process in your freelance business is that when you first start out, you're gonna hear no a lot more times than you're gonna hear yes. But you need to remember to have the grit and persistence to keep reaching out to more clients and keep shooting and just making sure that the wheel is still turning, because if you stop, that's when you basically kill all your chances of becoming a full-time content creator. So before I filmed the video that you guys just watched, I posted on Instagram asking you guys to send in questions that you guys might have regarding this topic. So I'm going to be going over a few of those questions. First question is, you should talk about how to deal with people who expect things for free. To be honest, I hated when clients did that, because they'll basically leverage the fact that we don't have a portfolio and they'll try to get free content. I guess what I'm trying to say is use your discretion. If the client is clearly just trying to use you, stay away from clients like that. But if you know that they have good basis for not wanting to pay you right out the gate, let them know. Adopt the free to fee mindset that we just talked about. Do the first one for free and then pitch them your packages, and hopefully you can land that gig. Second question is asking about budget. This is always a weird topic for a lot of content creators because no one likes to bring up the what is the budget question first, both on the client and on the creator side. And what I like to do is I always ask them what their budget is, and my reason for asking that question is because I would like to create packages for them, but I need to know how much content I can actually put in those packages based off of their budget. So if you have a good reason on why you're asking what the budget is, it won't look like you're uneducated, you're just trying to figure out how much their top dollar is. How do you convince them to book you compared to the competitors versus lower price, etc.? Work with clients that truly value you, that are going to be loyal to you so that you can be loyal to them. If they're threatening you saying like, oh, well, this person is cheaper, then just be like, all right, we'll go work with that person. Just take know your worth and don't let clients push you around, because you are the creator. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of videographers out there, but there's only one of you who can do your style and adopt the way you shoot videos or photography or whatever industry you may be in. So don't get pushed around by clients. How to show the value of the video to a client who doesn't understand the impact a video makes. That's a really good question going into the new year, because video is only growing and a lot of businesses are realizing that they need video for marketing or their digital marketing strategies. And so if a client doesn't understand how important video is, just find your most successful pieces, put that in like a presentation or a pitch deck, and then show that to the client. That's basically saying, well, I don't know if I even need video. Basically show that importance, but don't just say that you need video, because there are a lot of clients that aren't gonna buy that. You have to show proof of a client that you've worked with that was super satisfied on their return on investment. So that's one way to kind of go around that. How do you deal with project requests that might be too big for you to do? I know it sounds really cliche, but it's kind of true when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You kind of have to fake it till you make it. Just kind of act like you know what you're doing, and then obviously, if you don't know how to do something, ask a buddy that does know how to do it, or honestly online, there's so many resources. So if you don't know how to do a certain aspect of this project, look it up online. I guarantee you'll be able to find a bunch of different tools. I remember when I was first editing, I didn't even know how to do simple things like how to cross dissolve or make something fade out. There's so many tutorials online on how to edit certain types of videos. So just don't make that an excuse and take on that big client. Can you break down portions of our highlight reels, and also what should be included in our portfolios? As far as breaking down portions of your highlight reels, is that something that you guys would be interested in? I know a couple creators on YouTube, they'll do like the live stream thing where people will send in links and then they give you guys like constructive criticism on your guys' videos. If that's something you guys would be interested in, leave a comment down below. I would love to see some of your guys' work. What should be included in our portfolios? I would say in your portfolio should reflect the type of clients that you want to work with. For example, if you want to become a content creator that works with brands like Nike, Adidas, maybe like fitness brands, then your portfolio should reflect a lot of fitness videos or that type of cinematic storytelling. Or let's say you want to work with restaurants, a lot of your portfolio should include food or any type of restaurant type video content. So basically, think about what type of videos you want to shoot as a full-time creator, and start doing spec work and free work for portfolio pieces such as that. How to get comfortable with pricing your work. To be honest, you never get comfortable with pricing your work. As you grow as a creator, there'll never come a point where you're like, okay, this is the price I'm going to charge forever. Your prices are always changing because your skill set as a creator is always improving, or it should be at least. And so you should always be charging your price. You should always be, upping your prices a little more each year that goes by. But as far as being comfortable with it, just understand that usually what you value yourself at is too low. I remember when I was first starting out, I remember, someone would ask me to shoot a video. I thought it would be worth like maybe 400, but then I was like, I'm just gonna double it and charge 800. And usually the client was pretty happy with that price. It's a rule of thumb, I guess, like 2x what you think you're worth. So if the video is, you think you're worth like, 300, charge 600 for it. And I guarantee you, usually that's what the budget will allow for. Depending on the client, obviously companies and corporations have more money. And if you're doing videos for maybe like friends or family, they might not have that much money, but use your own discretion. And if you're uncomfortable with charging a certain price, then up it. If you feel like it's too little, then definitely up it, because nothing's worse than getting into a project and then feeling like you're not making enough money. So keep that in mind when listing your prices to your clients. There's more questions that I received on Instagram, but I can't go over all of them. This is a pretty long video as it is already. But if you're still watching this up to the very end, thanks. It's kind of a long video, but I'm kind of losing my train of thought right now. Anyway, so if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, because there's going to be a lot more value that comes from this channel, not only on the business side, but also on the content creation side. And leave a comment down below and let me know what type of content you guys would like to see, or what type of topics you guys would like me to cover. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.